Bagfuel, baby.
The question is, because Rock Nation is a big conglomerate, it's big now. When we was there from the beginning, it was like no people wasn't really respecting it.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, it's Rockefeller or die. Remember that? Like, what is Rock Nation?
Yep.
What was your process to get with Rock Nation?
So with Rock Nation, the process was I had to connect a friend of mine who knew Rich Kleiman, because at that time Rich Kleiman was a part of Rock Nation.
Yeah, of course he was, but the music side, Rich had Wale, and he had what's my DJ man from
Ski.
No, white boy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Just Ski.
No, white.
Mark Ronson?
Mark Ronson.
Yeah, Mark Ronson. Yeah.
Mark Ronson was his original client.
They had All I Do
before
records.
He got Wale, because him and Mark Ronson had signed Wale.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. So my boy knew Rich Kleiman, right? And he kept telling me like, yo, Dut, they about to form this company, Rock Nation. I want to bring you over there. So I remember I had a meeting with Rich in Soho, because they're building the office. The studio was in Soho. And sat down with Rich, and Rich set up a meeting with Tata. Because through a mutual friend. You know what I mean? Like whatever business they had or whatever respect Rich had for, my homeboy, he set the meeting up to just, but Rich was in music anyway, so it's like a regular meeting to hear, meet a producer, hear some beats. So I played him some beats. He was like, yo, this is fire. I'm going to set you up with Tata. But it took a little minute because they were still forming the company. But when it did happen, I remember I had a meeting at Rock the Mic. And I remember sitting down in the studio with Tata, and like, no lie, it was like 10 minutes. He was like, yo, play me some shit. And I remember playing like 3 beats. And then he was like, all right, cool, done deal. Let's get the paperwork to go. And I'm thinking like, damn. This shit was easy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm accustomed to going in offices and people on their phone looking at you, you know what I mean? Looking on their. He was like, yo, after the 3rd beat, like, yo, this is a done deal. Let's get the paperwork up. I remember being on the phone with Jay Brown, like, yo, this is a good move. We're looking forward, to building with you, blah, 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 blah. So that was like the initial, meeting between my boy Rich Kleiman and Tata, and then the whole situation happened. Now, mind you, back then, Rock Nation took over Mark Ronson's studio in Soho. So a month after I signed, Cole signed. So in the studio, I was in the back room, and then Cole was in the front room. And that's how I ended up building my relationship with Dreamville. Cole, Eve, all of them was done back then. So, that's pretty much how that story went. And then as it progressed, things,
That's what led to all the Dreamville plaques?
Yeah. Dreamville, that's family. You know what I mean? Like I seen Cole from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
To where he's at now. So, I've been with them since then, to now.
What's that like, seeing that whole progression go down with J. Cole? Because all the college kids that grew up with him that are now grown, they have a certain attachment to him. You've seen that coming up.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I feel like sometimes you don't really get to witness the glow up because you're so close to it.
You're in the eye of the tornado.
You're so close to it. But still, as time went on, like, we could see obviously how shit just grew. And
let me ask you this. You Caribbean, you from Brooklyn. Were you the one that inspired him to grow his hair out like that?
Oh, nah, not at all.
Yes,
I can't take no credit for that. Nah, I can't take no credit for that. Hell no, shit. Nah. I think, he went on his own, spiritual journey or journey. I don't know if it was spiritual or not, but whatever, moment he had, of realization and said, fuck it, you know what I mean? And that's the Cole we see now. I ain't got no parts of that hairstyle he got.
So when people think about records, people tend to think that you do a record, people record the record, you put the record out really fast. So you told a story about the Rihanna Bitch Better Have My Money record that you had it 5 months prior. You were talking to Jay Brown about it 5 months prior. Then you was in a meeting with him, and he brought the record up again. And what happened?
Had the meeting. I brought the record up, and he kind of like just brushed the idea off of the record. Like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, we all know, or those who know Jay Brown, he got that smile. You know what I mean? And
you wrote the record too? Or?
I produced the record. I made it with BB Borelli. It was my very first session with her, and we were about to leave the studio. It was the last beat I played, and I played it and then I stopped it. Because at that time, BB was on her organic acoustic, you know what I mean, vibes. So when I played, I was going through beats and I played it and I stopped it. She was like, what was that? And I played it again, and like shorty freestyle, like damn near 50, 60% of the record, you know what I mean? Like right then and there. And it was like, oh, cool. This is crazy. I went home. I knew what it was. I remember I had named the record You Owe Me on my vision board featuring Rihanna and Drake or some shit like that. But I knew it was Rihanna. And all right, cool. So had to be with Jay Brown. And 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after that meeting, I get a phone call, and it's Jay Brown like, yo, hey man.
Wow, how do you have Jay? How do you got Breezy's voice down?
Nah, I'm telling you, yo,
his
it's
cadence and everything.
Yeah, it was so distinct. Like, hey man, you know, we got this record here, and you know, they saying that you did it. You know, like, you know, we need the files. And in my mind, I'm like,
but
oh,
did you say
shit.
Somebody text you prior to that?
Yeah, so I got a text prior to that they were in the studio with Kanye, and Kanye co-signed the record. Like, yo, Kanye was like, yo, this shit is crazy. And started the,
Who co-signed? Who told you?
My boy Omar. You know what I mean?
Omar Grant?
Omar Grant, yeah. He's, you know, damn near the point person for, you know, her music side and shit. So, and me and Omar cool. So, of course, I was giving him the record too. So once he heard it, he knew I did it, and he texted me like, "Yo, Ye just co-signed this shit. You know what I mean? It might go down." And then I get the call from Jay Brown. Anyway, so months go by, and what I was saying before, like due to past experiences, like I never allowed those moments to get me high, because I've experienced moments of them saying like, "Yo, this shit about to go down." And at the end of the day, it never happened. You know what I mean? And I had to deal with that process of like building confidence and motivation back up, you know what I mean? After thinking some shit gonna happen, but it don't. So even when she cut it, you know, I kind of like just fell back and you know, just never got excited. And I remember going to the doctor because I was getting like tightness in my chest. Nah, real shit.
Yeah, I know, but that was the funny part there. I know, like, we was laughing at you about
real
that.
shit. Because I was like, yo, am I like, is my shit something in my heart? Nigga, I went to the doctor. He like, yo, EKG results is good. He was like, what are you anxious about? Like, what are you stressed about? And at the time, I wasn't thinking like, yo, I'm stressed about this record.
It was anxiety.
It was anxiety, bro.
Thinking that my life could change, but they could turn around and say that she's not going to take the record.
Yeah, yo,
because people never talk about that. Because people always skip to the point of, I got the record, I got the money, this is what happened. They don't explain to the people, and this is to credit, I'm saying this because this is what normally Heineken wants to do. Explain to the people exactly what's going on, because they don't know, okay, you had the record 5 months prior.
Or
then you gave it, then you met with Jay Brown, thinking maybe we shouldn't keep going with this relationship because y'all not really rocking with me like that. I'm not placing record.
Right.
Okay.
Right on schedule.
Okay. And I'm not placing records. Then he gives you the smile. Right?
Yeah.
You go home, and next thing you know, Kanye is co-signing your record that you talked to him about 5 months prior, then 2 weeks prior to this. So we talking about how many weeks? 22 weeks.
Bro, mad weeks, yeah.
You talked about a record for 22 weeks.